Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, February 15th. Last week's second impeachment trial of former President Trump should serve as a warning that something is very wrong in U.S. politics. Far from a measured, well-investigated, rock-solid case against the former president, America was again abused with day after day of character assassination, innuendo, false claims, and even falsified evidence. The trial wasn't intended to win a conviction of Trump for incitement because the Democrats already knew that the votes were not there. So just as with the last impeachment trial, the goal was to fling as much dirt at Donald Trump as they could while the cameras were rolling. Their hatred of Donald Trump is so deep and visceral that probably a psychologist would have been more beneficial to them than yet another impeachment trial. It would be incorrect to say that the House manager's case fell apart because they had no case to begin with. They never had a case because they made no effort to develop a case. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court saw from the beginning that there was no legitimate impeachment trial and informed Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that he would not preside. Without the Chief Justice, there was no constitutional impeachment trial, so they put on a show trial instead. As constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley kept asking, why didn't the House schedule a single hearing to investigate what really happened up to and on the day of the Capitol melee on January 6th? They had weeks to do so. Professor Turley believes they might have even been able to make a decent case if they had tried. Why did they not call witnesses? Were there no writers who could be called to explain under oath how Trump's speech had inspired them to enter the Capitol building and to overturn the election? Were they afraid that under cross-examination we might have found out more about Trump's Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' claim that Trump offered to deploy 10,000 National Guard troops in Washington before January 6th, but that his offer was rebuked? What about reports that Capitol Hill police were left without backup and unprepared for what happened? House and Senate leadership is responsible for security at the Capitol, and they obviously failed. Why? The House and Senate Democrats and a few Republicans did not succeed in their ultimate goal, preventing Trump from ever running again for political office. But that doesn't mean they are giving up. They are not about to give citizen Trump a moment of peace. They are intent on continuing their witch hunt, but it looks like less and less of any desire for justice. It looks like fear. They are actually acting as if they're afraid if he is allowed to run again, he may be elected. So they cannot allow that vote to happen. And they accuse Trump of undermining democracy. What a farce. There were a number of reasons to impeach and convict President Trump while he was in office. Bombing Syria on bogus grounds without authorization was one of them. But Democrats love war as much as Republicans do, so they weren't about to uphold their constitutional obligation. Impeachment, too, may be over, but those blinded by hatred for Trump are not about to give up. They are irrational and obsessed. They are also very dangerous. Thanks for listening.